President Biden meeting today with 10 GOP senators as they try to hash out a bipartisan COVID bill. Joining us now, one of the lawmakers who attended that meeting, Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Senator. So you and 9 of your Republican colleagues have proposed a $618 billion stimulus. The president wants nearly $2 trillion. Take us inside that meeting. Would you say that it was a success? Are you more optimistic or less optimistic at this point for a deal than you were 2 hours ago?
Well, that's a little bit hard to say. I consider it a success. There was common ground. As the president said, we're united in our concern for the American people. And the president said, as opposed to just us accepting his numbers or ours, we accept his or his ours, let's look at the information. Let's look at the data. We presented ours. He's going to have staff follow up with us tomorrow. So it won't be just throwing dollars against the wall hoping that it sticks. Rather, it will be actually looking at the true need and based upon that true need, picking a number. That seems a pretty good way to go.
And so it sounds like the president did express a willingness to work with you. And did you and your colleagues in turn pledge to make a good faith effort to work with Democrats? Is there a specific point that you all found consensus over?
Well, it would be too early to say consensus, except that we all care about the American people who are in need. We feel as if the package needs to be more focused. For example, their package has raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Well, Congressional Budget Office says that would kill about 1.3 million jobs, if I remember correctly, and that's not in the middle of a pandemic. That's just any time. A lot of small businesses would go out of business. That's a concern. Now you're unemployed. Sure, if you get a job, you earn more, but you don't have a job. So there was that frank talk, but there was also the frank discussion that we all care about the American people who are in need. So how can we come up with the best package for them? Can't guarantee that we come together, but it's a pretty good start.
And yeah, at least the conversation is happening. Now, Democrats have started making preparations to pass COVID relief in the form of budget reconciliation, which would not require 60 votes. Majority Leader Schumer said today that we welcome Republican input. Would you vote for relief passed under reconciliation if some of your concerns are addressed?
It depends on what's in it. If you're raising on a minimum wage of $15 an hour, shutting down probably millions of small businesses, unemploying, therefore, millions of Americans, that's a non-starter. We've got to have something which helps the American people, doesn't set them back. So tell me what's in the package, and then we can decide how the vote goes.
Now, in January, sadly, more than 95,000 Americans lost their lives to COVID, the worst month in the pandemic so far, and many more lost their livelihoods. Your colleague, Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, has said that workers out of a job shouldn't have to keep worrying that they'll suddenly lose income overnight. He said, quote, "We can't keep jumping from cliff to cliff every few months." Does he have a point?
Well, if you look at the amount of money that someone would have received in Louisiana from March until this coming March, assuming the president's package goes through as it is currently, they would have earned, if you will, from government transfer payments, somewhere between $80,000 and $110,000. Congress has supported the American people pretty well. It's the American people's taxpayer, but still. So I'm not sure Wyden has the point in the sense of saying, oh my gosh, people are jumping off a cliff. The average family of 4 in Louisiana, I think, makes somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000. Again, that's off the top of my head. We've more than replaced that income. So I think it's a little bit hyperbole to speak of cliffs being jumped off of.
All right. And lastly, the Congressional Budget Office projected President Trump's 2017 tax cut would add an additional $1.9 trillion to the federal debt over 10 years. You were one of 51 Republicans who voted to pass that tax cut. Many of the same Republicans are now citing fiscal responsibility as a reason to not support Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus proposal. Is the cost the reason that you don't support his proposal?
Well, first, you got a lot packed in there. There's more to that tax cut than just that figure you quote. But on the other hand, the money should be focused. You don't just throw money against the wall and say, oh my gosh, we're going to show how much we care because we're going to spend more than other people. That's just a waste of federal tax dollars, a waste of our money, a waste of our children and grandchildren's money. You want to focus the dollars. If you focus the dollars, you get the same effect without running up the money and perhaps costing the opportunity to do an infrastructure package. We need to be focused. We need to care.
Senator Cassidy, I feel like we got a fresh off the presses update from your meeting with President Biden at the White House. We appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.